Okay, another sort of British comedy, sort of like a movie. I think it's actually got written by Mel Smith and Griff Rhys Jones. They were like I think they had like a TV show. Smith and Jones are sort of two comedy actors, sort of two friends, in real life type thing. And they sort of made a movie. I think it's like their very first movie they were sort of made together and sort of written by them. So it's called Morons from Outer Space, which is a very cool title. I thought. This was I don't know. I really sort of enjoyed the first half of it, and but I think sort of towards the end, I sort of got a bit sick of it. It wasn't. It sort of started out sort of kind of funny and good sort of premise to it, but towards the end, I sort of did lose a bit. Did sort of lose interest in it a little bit. I think it's just sort of about these there's like three of them, 3 or 4 aliens from outer space, and they end up sort of obviously they're morons, not particularly bright. Obviously everyone thinks that the aliens from outer space are going to be really intelligent and stuff, but in this movie they're not. They're just they're sort of morons from outer space. They sort of end up sort of crash landing on Earth, and they sort of end up sort of becoming kind of like sort of like celebrities type thing. They sort of put on a big sort of arena shows, and everyone loves them, and they get want to be interviewed, and merchandise, and all this sort of really sort of silly stuff. The fourth one, he sort of Mel Smith, he sort of gets sort of left behind on the spaceship, so he's sort of trying to find his way down to Earth to sort of kind of rescue the other 3, but they don't sort of want to be rescued because they're obviously having obviously celebrities now, and they don't want to sort of leave type thing. It's a bit hard to explain, sort of thing. It sort of has a nice sort of premise to it, I thought, and there are a few sort of nice gags to it, and but I don't know. Towards the end, it just sort of got I did sort of get a bit sick of it. So that's sort of Morons from Space from 1984, I think. No, 1985. Okay, a couple more to go. This one is actually a movie that I just thought was just absolutely fantastic. I thought it was just an amazing movie. From the 1980s, and it's just I don't know, just really just I don't want to use the word blew my mind type thing, but that's kind of what I've I don't know, sort of feeling I had. I just thought it was absolutely great. It's called Electric Dreams. I think 1984, and it's I don't know, it's a bit hard to explain. It's a film that sort of got mixed reviews, because essentially the film has been described as just basically an MTV music clip sort of made into a movie type thing, which is pretty much probably a good way to describe it, I suppose. It's sort of just about this guy, and he's sort of pretty sort of useless at sort of organising things. So his friend suggests he gets a brand new computer. Computer's obviously the big the big new thing at the time, back in the 80s. So he sort of buys this computer, and the computer sort of becomes alive. Very much kind of like a sort of from 2001: Space Odyssey, the HAL computer. It's very much similar sort of to that, where sort of the computer sort of starts to sort of kind of starts to learn things, and what is love and all that sort of stuff, and it starts to evolve, type thing. And you also got he sort of falls in love with the girl in the apartment opposite. The computer also does the same thing, sort of falls in love with her, and they sort of some ways have this, they kind of fight each other to sort of win her attention. That's probably not quite true, but that's sort of the vibe to it, sort of thing. And it's very much a lot of sort of great sort of 80s sort of computer graphics, and really great sort of music put to sort of computer I don't know how to explain, sort of images, and it's very much like some 80s MTV clip, type thing. And but just great music and great sort of visuals to it, and I don't know, just about a computer that sort of falls in love. I mean, it's it's this sort of weird sort of concept to it, and the movie itself doesn't make complete sense. It's a bit sort of in fantasy, and you're not really quite sure doesn't quite make sense. But it's just visually, and just it's a very simple simple sort of storyline to it, and just but the visuals and music I just thought were just absolutely fantastic. And I just I just thought it was really good, and I just really enjoyed it because I'm a bit of a bit of a geek, bit of a computer geek, and especially I don't know, just something really sort of about the 80s with computers is very sort of nostalgic for me, I guess, in some ways, and it's kind of I don't know, it's very kind of. I guess computers were sort of back then were sort of seen as like a sort of a fantasy, very sort of cutting edge and a new way of life, and it's I don't know. I just thought it was fantastic. I probably can't explain it very well, but it's just I just really enjoyed it from pretty much start to finish. I just thought it was absolutely fantastic, and a bit sort of cheesy perhaps and a bit silly, but I mean it was just a really fun watch. I really did enjoy that one. Okay, a few more to go. This is going to be a long video, I reckon. This one's actually your Best Picture winner from 1979, was it? No, 1969. Yeah, 1969. Starring Dustin Hoffman, Jon Voight. That's Midnight Cowboy. I'm sort of just trying to sort of perhaps watch a few more of the sort of the Best Picture winners, type thing, because obviously they're supposed to be, really good films. So put this one up for, the support on a few bucks sort of thing. And so sort of the premise to it, you've got sort of Jon Voight here, and he's, I don't think he's not from Texas, but he sort of dresses up like a cowboy. That's kind of his thing, sort of his image, type thing. Because some ways, perhaps, perhaps he's watched too many sort of movies and thinks it's really cool to be a cowboy. So you sort of get this sort of young, naive guy. He sort of moves to New York, and you think he's gonna, I guess, I don't know, fame and fortune, I guess that's a bit of a, cliched story type thing. He sort of goes out there and thinks he's going to be I think like a gigolo. I think that's the right word. Sort of, he wants to sort of find sort of rich older women, and he's sort of going to get them to sort of pay his way, type thing. And it doesn't sort of work out quite like that sort of thing. He sort of meets Dustin Hoffman, and he's kind of like a sort of a small time sort of con artist type thing, and I guess in some ways just trying to sort of get by type thing. He sort of hustles people for money and sort of cons people just for a few bucks type thing, just so he can sort of live day by day type thing. And they sort of meet up and end up sort of obviously Jon Voight doesn't have any luck trying to find an older woman to sort of pay his way, so he sort of becomes broke and they sort of end up living together in this really sort of horrible, sort of condemned sort of building where it's the roof's leaking and it's just real dirty and horrible, and they sort of become sort of really close friends, and it's just sort of about them just sort of day by day trying to get by, because they're both sort of broke. And but I just thought it was actually quite interesting. Some really great sort of fantasy sort of dream sequences to it, and I just sort of thought both the leading actors were just sort of really good in their parts, and just a good sort of story about friendship and sort of being young and sort of being naive and thinking that it's gonna be easy to sort of make money, and turns into sort of reality where you sort of end up being broke. And but I just thought it was really good, really a bit sort of strange, and but just really a good sort of watch, and great performances I think by the two leads. So definitely a movie that's probably worth checking out, I think, that one. Okay, finally, because it's sort of getting close to sort of Halloween time, I did sort of pick up a sort of horror related type one. I think it's called Dead Time Stories by George A. Romero. This is like volume 1. Just got I think it's 3 sort of short stories on here, just sort of short sort of horror stories, and just sort of watched, I think, last night, and I thought it was actually pretty good. I don't know how many sort of parts there are to it, but just sort of, I think they're both probably like 25-minute long, sort of short stories. And one here about a sort of woman that's her husband sort of disappears in the African jungle. She sort of goes to sort of track him down type thing. And another one was sort of about mermaids, where there's sort of this guy sort of finds these sort of a body of a mermaid sort of all cut up and put into sort of boxes type thing. And he sort of gets warned not to sort of put the parts together, because you have sort of evil mermaids, The third one just sort of about sort of this woman calls the doctor in the middle of the night because she thinks his son's acting strange, and the son says he's like a vampire, and she just she's sort of worried about him. But yeah, it was good sort of horror sort of stories. A good sort of watch. Probably wouldn't be, but probably wouldn't mind Pascal, getting the whole set. I don't know how many there are, sort of thing, but yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so that's my update. Also did buy a few VHS as well, actually. I might just include them as well. Really sort of weird. I don't know. What's this one? Captain Starlock, just on VHS. I don't know. It looks like an 80s anime, I think, from this one. That's like 45 minutes. Then we got, I think it's like the Jungle Book type episode, I think, or something. Mowgli's brother or something, I don't know. Just sort of looked quite interesting, so I thought I might give that a watch. What are you good? And then Jack and the Beanstalk, which kind of looks like a bit of a sort of a mixed sort of live action and animation sort of mixed together, which I think looks quite interesting. So I'll just sort of grab that as well. Just these are like 20 cents or something each. So I'll just sort of grab them and just second hand store. Thought I might give them a watch. So that's it. That's my very long update. It's like half an hour. I don't know if I might perhaps cut this perhaps into 2 parts. I don't know. I just haven't sort of watched a huge amount recently. This is sort of stuff I have sort of watched over the last few weeks, and thought about time I did a bit of a video about it. If you've sort of seen any of these, certainly leave me a comment and tell me your thoughts on them. Hopefully I'll be back soon with another video. Yes, just for a moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.